Morning. Good morning, good evening, good night. How's everyone doing? Why's my stream not playing? Alright, here we go, guys. It is our 4th birthday, and I didn't even realise until I woke up early this morning and I had a message from our ever faithful moderator, Tim Ward. Thanks very much, Tim. Yeah, because the first video to ever drop, the first official Analog Toys video anyway, to drop on this channel, dropped on the 24th of July 2016. So actually our birthday was yesterday for me, but for most of you guys, if you're in the States or the UK and it's still the 24th, it's our 4th birthday. If you actually look at the About tab on the channel, it says that we started in 2011, but all I did back in 2011 was upload the trailer for my Story of Action Man documentary when it was getting ready to be released on DVD. So, and all the usual folks are here in the chat. We've got George Aitken, Tim Hayes, Kieran Ball, Bobby O'Collins, Scuba Pete, Brian Dillingham, Gary's Action Man channel. I've also seen Alan Dawson up there before, Keith Holmesley, Rich Hawkins. How are you all doing? And since I just mentioned Tim Ward as well, I also want to give the guy a shout out. Tim is an extremely valued member. He's an official member of the Analog Toys team now. He moderates both the YouTube comments and the Facebook. And over the last week or 2 weeks, whatever it's been, since I dropped the third part of the Repro Trilogy Saga video and then my video about the G.I. Joe Retro Collection, I've been getting inundated with comments to the point where I can't keep up with them. And Tim's been doing a fantastic job. He has got a lot of access to the channel now. He's earned my trust and he thoroughly deserves that. And I just want to let everyone know how much I appreciate his help and support. You're very welcome, Tim. Keith Holmesley, hey Tony, did you get some brekkie, perhaps an emu's eye? No, I just went and got a cappuccino, that's all. I was up early enough to get down to the coffee shop this morning. So, Venkman, great to see you here. Hey Tony, I finally have a Friday night off from work for a change. That's awesome. Really good to see you here, Venkman. Haven't seen Jody around. Didn't think I saw Jody in the last stream. What's happened? Anyone know what's going on with Jody? Yes, George, that coffee shop does do great business. It's the only local one around here. And it's like halfway between here and my place of work. So I go there every morning, as does most of the other people I work with. Orion Pax 0430. Hi, Tony, from another Tony in the USA. How you doing? David Pascarella, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for the great show and your service from Staten Island, New York. You're very welcome. Okay, Tim. So Jody's been working a lot. That's good to know. As long as he's okay. I don't know. I can't speak to his boss and tell him to give him time off just to watch my streams. But I do miss not having Jody around as well. So the theme today, we did not put a poll up on the Patreon this week. So we finally dropped part 4 of the Action Force video this week on the Q Force, which is all about the Aquatic Action Force team. And I have an enormous parcel here. Let me see if I probably can't even get it into frame. Look at this. This is from Scuba Pete. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to open that on the stream. So since we've got a mystery box from Scuba Pete and we dropped the Q-Force video this week, I was like, you know what, there's no need for a poll on Patreon this week. We're going to do scuba themed toys because everyone loves a good toy that you can, when you were a kid, you know, that you could play with in the bath, or if you were lucky enough to live in a warm climate and had a swimming pool, you could take into the swimming pool. Yes, good Lord, that is a big box. And I have no idea what's in it. Brian Dillingham, I don't think it's a Terradrome, my man, because it's not thick enough. I don't even want to ponder what's in there. I don't know. Yes, Vinkman, that's a big box. What's in the box? Gojatron says Pete mailed himself to Oz so he could dive the Great Barrier Reef. Scuba Pete, are you in this box? That's right, Pete. It's too thin for the Terradrome. Yeah, I think a lot of people think Scuba Pete might actually be in that box. You must be hungry because it's taken a long time to get here. This thing sat in New York Customs for ages. I don't know if there's something dodgy in there. Cut him some air holes quick, yeah. I would, but I'm scared about damaging whatever's inside if I start stabbing air holes into the box, so I think I'm going to sneeze. Matt Ludi, I remember having the Action Force diver with the red back piece and wondering why it came with the rubber band. The Q-Force guy, I've got him here. Yeah, so as I mentioned in the video, this is the same backpack from the Hasbro Jump Jetpack set. And obviously all of the O-ring construction figures, like the Cobra Eel that I've got here with his backpack. This is one of my favourite diver figures ever. Certainly one of my favourite Cobra figures. What was I saying? Yeah. Because these aren't O-ring construction, they don't have the hole in the back where the screw goes in to assemble the figure. So Palitoy, just decided to strap it on with a rubber band. But there we go. There's Leviathan, who technically isn't a scuba diver, and neither is this guy. These are deep sea divers, but you know, I took a bit of artistic license here. Brian Dilliam saying if Scuba Pete is in the box, he's impressed with his Wi-Fi connection. Yeah, me too. He's starving. Let him out. His oxygen ran out 2 weeks ago. Vintage Toy Rush, is that an original elastic band? No, it's not, you know, but you know what the anti-repro haters would say? That, you know, you should just display this with the backpack sitting next to it, because if you don't have the original, you can't replace a rubber band or foam from the Death Star trash compactor or stickers from your Millennium Falcon, whatever. Nah. Oh yeah, the elastic band is definitely a repro. I think I stole it off Gracie's hairband set. No, Brian, the Jump Jetpack was... no, I don't think it was ever released by Palitoy, no. Yeah, that's right, George. The character of Leviathan, Jamie Hugh McLaren, is from Glasgow, the same as George. Which is coincidental because George gave me this figure. Tony, is that deep sea diver figure... Oh, and Gojatron, thank you very much for the super chat, my man. Is that deep sea diver figure the same that was included in the Adventure Team 8 Ropes of Danger set? Yes, very similar. So this is an Action Man deep sea diver. Let's... I'm going to get the Fisher Price out of the way because I showed you guys this one last week. But he has got a scuba diver in there, so I had to put him on the table. But I need some room here. Yeah, this is the Action Man version. There were... It's got cat hair all over it. There were a number of variations of this, both in the G.I. Joe line and in the Action Man line. This is the very early 60s version where the belt has got the actual like lead weights on it with the full cross straps, and there's another strap that sort of comes up between his legs. As the uniform evolved and probably into the Adventure Team set, I'm not sure. They certainly would have done away with the strap between the legs. They may have even done away with the cross straps and just gone for a weighted belt. It evolved over the years. But one of the key differences between this and the G.I. Joe, if I can see where I'm pointing, so there's a little sort of oblong shaped plate in the middle of the diving helmet there. On the G.I. Joe versions, that actually has G.I. Joe written on it. That's how you know this is an Action Man one. And very cool. The front mask opens up so you can actually see the figure inside. Well, he's looking to one side there. Oh, it's because the helmet's turned. That's better. Yes. These and these divers, so the suit is a fabric material, but inside the suit it had the originals had rubber linings, which a lot of which have perished over the years, including this one. But fortunately, unlike the Frogman, like the Action Man guy in here, where the whole suit perishes, at least when the rubber perishes from this, you still have the outer fabric and you can display it quite well. A classic of the Action Man and G.I. Joe lines. A brilliantly engineered figure as well. This actually, he's got weighted boots and belts, so if you drop him into water, he sinks, and then you take the air hose and you blow into the air hose. Bubbles come out of the back of the helmet here. Excuse me, and you can actually make the deep sea diver like raise and lower in the water just through the air pressure. Brian Dillingham, I'm surprised Deep Six and the Shark were never released for Q-Force. Did they come out too late? Yeah, the Shark came out, I believe, in 1985, which was like the transition year from Palitoy's Action Force into the Hasbro Action Force. Yeah, there you go. George is correct there. Brian, the 85 range just became Action Force and the Shark came out that year. Yeah, so it's in 85 they did away with all the different teams, even though some of the stuff was still carried over, like the Z-Force ATC and the Sea Lion. They stopped being called Q-Force, Z-Force and all that, and it just became the Action Force. Lee Majors is trying to get some screen time. One of the eagle-eyed among you have noticed that that I've got a Steve Austin down here. And the reason I have a Steve Austin down here is because this is the scuba diving Steve Austin. This has got the critical assignment arms, which had 3 different arms, and this one, I'm not sure if I'm even going to pull that out. But in there, he's actually got a yellow diving mask and a hose that goes to his arm that he can pull out and put on. So technically, this is the scuba diving $6 million man figure, so I thought I'd get him out as well. Well, who spotted that? Sorry, I missed. Ski 2010. Well spotted, yeah. Steve Austin was down in the corner there. Emmanuel asks, has G.I. Joe shaped my career? Well, technically, yeah, like a more Action Man. I grew up with Action Man, G.I. Joe's British cousin. It certainly shaped the first half of my adult career. Not what I'm doing now. I'm working for a big mining corporation now. Tim Hayes, that reminds me, Lee Majors went scuba diving for treasure in the movie Killer Fish. I don't think I've ever seen that. I might have to check that out. Is it a good movie, Tim? Killer Fish? Is it up there with Piranha? This is also one of... Oh, whoa, knocking the table there. This is also one of my favourite Steve Austin figures, the one when he's decked out with the critical assignment arms and legs. I just like the way this guy looks with his shorts and his t-shirt. Very, very cool. Get that down there. BD, when will I open the box? A little bit later on in the stream, man. Because I'm going to need to clear everything off the table. But let's talk about what's on the table first. I've also got another mystery box here from... I'm not sure if I should be using his real name because I think he has a different internet handle. So let's just say this is from Antonio. It feels heavy, you know. We'll see. We'll see what's in there. The sound is a little low, is it? How's the sound, everyone? Is it okay? Let me just do a quick test with the laptop. Nah, sounds fine to me. If the sound's a little low, maybe you need to turn it up on your end. Hugh says, I'm new to Action Man collecting. My dad got me into it and I've fallen in love. Does the blue part of the scuba gear perish or is it rubber straps? A lot of the stuff on this guy perishes. The original rubber suits, they're made of the same material as like dishwashing gloves. They were not designed to last 30, 40, 50 years. This here, which I highly recommend, I've actually made a video about these. This is made of neoprene, the same material that real wetsuits are made from. And you can buy these from Cotswold Collectibles in the States, a company that's been selling G.I. Joe, vintage G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe related products for, oh man, Cotswold have been around a long time, like 30 odd years. Really respectable company. Excellent substitute. The other things that perish on these are the elastic straps for the mask and the backpack. But again, you know, I'm not one of those anti-repro guys who says, you know, you can't replace rotted elastic. Like, it's just elastic. It's not like it was specially designed part or anything. So, George, I'm worried about the rubber neck piece on the vintage Attack. Yeah, is it right? Yeah, it's not really rubber. That's like a flexible vinyl, I think, George. That should be okay. How well did the Action Force dive bar hold up if you actually used it in water? The Action Force one, I think, would be fine because it's all plastic. There's no metal parts. Not like the G.I. Joe guys. Like if you used your Cobra Eel in the water a lot, all the screws would rust and stuff like that. As I said, this is one of my favourite Cobra figures, let alone scuba divers. You'll notice that his oxygen mask has got hoses that are supposed to run around the back into the backpack. If you've got one of these in good condition and the hoses are intact, I recommend displaying it like this and not plugging it into the backpack because the pressure it puts on the joint, it'll eventually snap off next to the mouthpiece. So just display it like that. But the Cobra Eel is an awesome, awesome figure. Gary's Action Man channel, where's the assault craft? Oh, I didn't have room to bring everything down. I mean, I've got from the special team, I've got the underwater assault figure, both loose, which was a donation from Andy Wooten. I've got that uniform carded. I have the SAS diver, or the SAS frogman, I should say. I've got the SAS beachhead assault landing craft. I didn't have room to bring everything down here. I just got a smattering of scuba stuff, so. Kieran Ball, 40th anniversary Action Man underwater outfits are still intact if you can find them. If you can find them on the card. I purchased them when they first came out. I purchased two. I kept one on the card and I put one on a figure. And the one on the figure perished within a couple of months. The one on the card was okay. They're actually even thinner than the originals and they really did not last very long at all. I actually recommend if you do really want to get a rubber one is to try and pick up I think it's a 40th anniversary G.I. Joe one. That rubber was much, much thicker and seems to hold up a lot better. That's actually the version that Andy sent me for the underwater assault guy. Scuba Pete, you don't need to send me a super chat, my man, but thank you anyway. You've done enough, and I should say to everyone that Pete never suggested that I do a scuba themed show. I almost called this the Scuba Pete show, but I think I'll reserve that for whenever Pete finally has a holiday to Australia and he appears here in person because the invitation is always open, Pete. Let's get back to your super chat. Love the Cobra Eels. My Cobra sub I'm customising will be home to many eels trailing the USS flag. Yes, Scuba Pete is making a custom Cobra submarine and looks awesome. For anyone who wants to see kind of update photos of that, you have to join us on Patreon. He's posting them on the community tab there. Which again, guys, I know I mentioned it maybe in the last live stream, or no, maybe it was in a Patreon message or something. But the community tab of the Patreon page is just going crazy lately. Everyone's sharing photos of their collections, their new acquisitions. I'm really enjoying it. And there's some real good humour going around too. You guys are great. Brian Dillingham, since Hasbro has been putting up the old G.I. Joe cartoons, it is interesting to see some vehicles featured before final design was solidified. Yeah, and the Shark and Rattler are featured in the Mass Device miniseries before their release and final design was done. Well, Boba Stew, the plastic of the figure is still outgassing, probably causing the degraded rubber. Maybe. I don't think that's the case. This here, I purchased this actually from Bob Breakin. This came from Bob Breakin's personal collection. This was mint sealed when I got it. I love this piece. It's one of my favourite Action Man figure boxes. The tape on the top dry rotted, so technically it's not a sealed item anymore. And inside, I don't know how well you guys can see, the neck post has deteriorated and fallen off. You guys can't see that, can you? This rubber suit is still intact, and I think it's because it's always been kept in this box. So I will never ever display this. Unfortunately, I'd love to have the basic Frogman on display, but yeah, it's not coming out of the box because I know it's not perishing while it's in the box. I think when you start to get the oils from your fingers and your hands onto the figure, that's when it starts to perish. So I don't think it's the fact that it's on a figure, because that's been on a figure since 1979, something like that. So yes, Pete, the artwork on that box is killer. The artwork on that box was created by a fantastic graphic illustrator called Dave Barnacle. He did all of this range of Action Man boxes were called what they called the key figure boxes, and Dave Barnacle did all of them. And this is one of my personal favourites. I think because I've got a childhood memory of seeing this in the toy store and actually picking one up when I was a kid. Awesome figure. Nyquist75, do you believe we will ever see O-ring figures again? Not from Hasbro, I don't think you will. I don't think you'll ever see them in the retro collection do C-3PO and R2-D2 either, because they can't be bothered doing back metalizing or electroplating or anything. But there are still O-ring styled figures in the market. If you look on the Facebook page, Tim Ward posted on both our page and on the Retro Blasting page the other day of a sort of cheap knockoff toy, modern knockoff toy that has an O-ring construction figure. So yeah, I don't think you're going to see them from Hasbro because they're just lazy, but there will be O-ring figures out there. John Baldry, good to see you here, man. And John, I should say, when you sent me that Mochi stuff last week, I kept meaning to post a photo of the two Panthers together. Man, the colours on the one you sent me are just incredible. I must take a comparison photo for you and put it on the Facebook page. But John Baldry says, they say don't dive and fly at in the same day. That's some James Bond stuff, you ask me. I love the water. I moved to Australia when I was 11, and I was very fortunate to move into the first house we had a swimming pool. And you know, coming from a cold country like England, and then all of a sudden living in a nice hot country with a swimming pool, I was in the pool every single day after school, all weekend. You know, we would, any chance we got, we'd be in the swimming pool. But unfortunately, I've never been able to actually do scuba diving because I have a real problem equalising my ears. But having said that, I was wondering if anyone's got their diving masks, because I've got my diving mask here. I saw this in Kmart yesterday and I picked it up. So if anyone's got a diving mask, on the count of 3, I want you to put your diving mask on and then watch the next bit of the show. I'm going to put mine on. Hold on. Okay, I'm not going to do the rest of the show like this, but what do you guys think of my diving mask from Kmart? Yeah, this is right up Pete's alley. Yeah, this freaked Grace out yesterday when I showed her this. And George is allergic to rubber, and I can't equalise my ears, so we are not members of the Q Force. Wow, an Italian diving mask, yes. I can't drink my coffee like this. Okay. Is that better? Yeah, the Groucho Marx edition. Just so I took a stroll through Kmart yesterday, and for those of you who follow us on Facebook, you'll see I posted a photo of all of the Black Series. What are they called? The child from the Mandalorian, the baby Yoda, which I don't like that word, that expression. Yeah, I was in Kmart and I was just on my way out, and I sort of went down this one aisle, and I was like, "Damn, $5 for that mask! I've got to get that for the show." No, John, I really struggle with diving. I don't equalise my ears. They don't equalise very well. I actually even struggle just on a normal commercial plane sometimes when we come into land and the pressure changes. I actually get really bad headaches, and it can sometimes take a day or two for me to recover, which is unusual when you think I was in the airborne forces in the military. But we used to jump out of planes at such a low height, I don't think the air pressure affected us very much. Hugh says he thought I was going to put on some badass mask. No, I put on a joke mask. I think it's designed for a kid because it's a little bit small, but there you go. Right, that's got to go. George is saying that in his mate's shop they're getting in the 6-inch the 6-inch snow speeder. Are you going to pick it up, George? Are you going to get one? I don't think I'm going to get one. Certainly not yet, anyway. Yes, it is amazing the things that I can find in Kmart. Yeah, they do awesome t-shirts. Although their t-shirt selection has dwindled lately. I got a good Captain America one in there a few weeks ago, and I went in there yesterday, and I don't see. Maybe they're not selling the licensed tees anymore. I don't know. Whoa, it's about £100, George. That's a fair chunk of change for a toy. Certainly a modern toy. Imagine how much Action Force you could get for £100, George. Probably save you money for that. MH says your videos are a time machine, Tony. Brings us right vacancies to the day. I'm not sure what you mean, but I know that's a complimentary comment. Thank you very much. Bobby L. Collins, the Kmart in my town went out of business a few years ago. Bobby L. Collins, are you in the States? Because here in Australia, Kmart is they're everywhere. They're all over the country. Keith Holmesley, I wonder if Scuba Pete got you the 6-inch snow speeder in that box. I think that box is even too big for the snow speeder. I know that's a big box, but I think... Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to speculate what's in there. So... Epic Badger, it's strange to hear someone mention Kmart is almost extinct in the US and we grew up with them. Yeah, they I mean, when I first came to Australia in 1988, Kmart was around then. We didn't have Kmart in the United Kingdom, and Kmart is still going strong over here. Kmart's are everywhere, and Kmart's of all the big sort of you call them like department stores or. So I know in America you have like your Walmarts and all that kind of thing. Here in Australia we have Target, which is probably the more expensive of the bunch. We have a chain of stores called Big W, big department stores. Kmart. Kmart still has good quality stuff, relatively cheap. Great place to buy clothes, actually. Very, very cheap clothes there. No, Keith, I don't know of any Kmarts that have a cafeteria in them here in Australia. I don't think we've ever had cafeterias in them in Australia. Yes, Tim, Big W is Australia's Walmart. Chris82 says, what's your thoughts on custom built vehicles for 3 3/4 inch Action Force G.I. Joe? I think they're fantastic. I love some of the stuff that's coming out. If you want to check out a really awesome custom toy designer, go on Instagram and look up the Kraken Wakes on Instagram. He does loads and loads of custom, like mainly Action Force, but that's kind of G.I. Joe stuff as well. He'll also kind of take G.I. Joe toys and paint them in Z-Force colours and stuff like that. Check out his Instagram page. It's just amazing. The guy's very talented. Okay, let's get some of the other stuff out here. So, where am I going to put everything? So obviously you saw in the Action Force Part 4 and the Q-Force, the Sea Lion. I thought I have to get the Sea Lion out here for the show. What an amazing toy. So many play features. So we can extend like the mounts for the side, what do I call them? The removable mini subs. The functions here, all the different attachments that you can plug in all these different places. The opening canopy, we've got Dolphin in there in the cockpit. Yeah, Keith, the Sea Lion is very, very creative. The play features on the Sea Lion are awesome. One thing I really don't think I showed very well in that video was the anchors. So this is a submersible vehicle, not a surface vehicle. Yeah, and there's two of these anchors. If I can get them out. There we go. So they're like kind of like hooks where you can. Yeah, I really didn't show that well in the video. I probably should have taken a different shot of that because that looks much better, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to set this to one side because this is a fragile toy. Excuse me, and I'll deal with that one a little bit later. Canvadoo says, do you have any Micronauts? I've got about 4 Micronaut figures that were sent to me in a mystery box from Toy Polloi, and that's the extent of my Micronauts. I don't really collect I wasn't even aware of Micronauts stuff when I was a kid, so. Alan Dawson, is that grab mechanism repurposed from the Catcher-Copter? No, it's a completely new design, Alan. Well, I think so. I've never owned a Catcher-Copter, so I can't really say. I might have to have a look at that. Yeah, George, I was going to mention it. I'm not going to grab it again. The engine cover in the middle of the Sea Lion, which I do feature in the video, it opens up and having had a searchlight attached to it in that shot. That is actually a shrunk down version of the round hatch on the top of the ATST. I was thinking about mentioning that in the video, and I don't know why I didn't. It would have been another little bit of information I could have added in, but there you go. Nyquist 75, is G.I. Joe too violent for modern times? No, I don't think so. I don't think G.I. Joe is actually that violent, really. I would like to see a modern interpretation of the original Larry Hama comics, which were obviously more violent than the cartoon, but yeah. Gigacidal Tendencies, thank you very much for the super chat with no question. I don't know if you hit send before you wrote the question, but if you have one, please throw it up in the chat. Right, let's take a look at this guy. This is the Action Man Underwater Explorer, and there are some very rare additional accessory sets that you could get with this guy as well. An underwater camera unit, and you can see all of this in my Action Man documentary. Geekicidal Tendencies finally caught you live. Cheers, mate. Great and fun content. You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah, this guy is really cool with a very unique. I know I'm going to get this wrong. What do you call these tanks, guys? Diving tanks. They're not oxygen tanks because it's not pure oxygen, but a lot of the other Action Man Frogmen, they have a different style of tank. This one's got a lot more detail in it. He's also got a diving watch. He's got a knife in a sheath on his leg there. His harpoon gun, the harpoon actually comes out and is on a rope. I'm not going to take it out now, but very, very cool figure. Yeah, are they scuba tanks? Cylinders? Rebreather tank? What are they called? Project Zircon's got a good question here. Did the film Thunderball help to promote the AM and G.I. Joe Frogmen? I don't know if promote's the right word. I actually think the film Thunderball probably inspired an outfit like this, maybe, because this came after Thunderball. George Aitken, those flippers are upscale Action Force ones, which you can see here. They are exactly that. Or I should say it the other way around. The Action Force ones are downscaled Action Man ones because the Action Man ones came first. But they are exactly the same. Did Thunderball have any toys? I don't think they did at the time of the release, but I'm not a James Bond expert. But they brought out an Action Man Thunderball figure in the mid-90s in the diving suit. Scuba Pete says the Thunderball fight scene is epic. Yes, it is. The underwater car, or was that Moonraker? I'm not sure if it was Moonraker. It was definitely a Roger Moore one. The underwater car, the Lotus, that was not a Sean Connery movie. That's right, George. The Spy Who Loved Me was the diving car. That's right. Is this another eel? No, this is the Aqua Trooper from Action Force, which is featured in the video we dropped the other day about the Action Force Q-Force. So you can check that out. Right, we're slowly moving this stuff out of the way here. Now we get to the first series, Action Force AF7, the diving platform. The Kraken shouldn't really be in there because the Kraken came out in 1984. I've got a few pieces missing off this. There should be like an orange claw system here. This net is actually from the Kraken, but this should have a net. This searchlight here is two-piece. You've got the pole and the searchlight. Here I've got the pole and the light fitting is missing, but I've been speaking to my mate Gary Atkinson about getting some of these replacement parts from him. I think he's got the light and the red claw there. I'm not sure if there's what else is missing off this. But this is very cool. This is the first series Action Force deep sea diver with his diving platform, and you can actually, there's a hole in the middle where you can actually, with a hook and a winch, you can actually lower the diver down into the water and haul him back up again with a flexible vinyl flotation collar there. Nyquist, the other one on the top. No, this is the SAS Frogman from the SAS line. And the SAS Frogman. Very cool figure. Does this float? Yes, this floats. Floats very easily. Yeah, this is a hollow vinyl flotation collar. Floats very easily. Yes, and it was also the basis for the swordfish. The swordfish was adapted from this original toy. As a matter of fact, the interior of the swordfish is identical to this. They've actually bolted additional stuff on. They've used the same mould for the flotation collar, and they turned it into something a little bit more weaponised. So, Resolute123 says, "Dear Lord, that looks like a nightmare for small accessories." Yes, not only is it a nightmare for small accessories, but also there's a lot of unique accessories on this. So these lights only ever came with this. The red claw thing that I need only ever came with this. Let me look at the other side. This laser cannon came with a number of items. That's not quite rare, but yeah, it's actually got controls here. You can see forward and not that it actually drives it forward and back, but it's just pretty cool that they actually are functional controls. And obviously the ship's wheel. Gilbert Toys put out several little non-movable James Bond figures that were about 2.5 inches tall, as well as the 12-inch dolls of Bond and Oddjob. I have a number of the small figures. Yeah, that's right, Venkman. That was Thunderball, wasn't it? Yeah, Gilbert. That was a really terrible head sculpt for the Sean Connery figure. Terrible. Martin Futter, yeah, the yellow float should have a black bung in the back. That's correct. There should be a black bung in there. This one's missing. I actually got a feeling that surely someone can 3D print one of those and put that in there in its place. Also, the hose that goes from that goes to the deep sea diver. But I've got plenty of spare hose for my aquarium, so. Will you show off the sea lion? I'm curious about the anchor mechanisms. I did that about 5 minutes ago, Michael. You'll have to catch the replay if you missed it. Chris82, out of all of your collection, what is the first oldest item you have? The first item that I've this Fisher Price toy was the first one I had as a kid. I've now reacquired that. But the oldest item in my collection would be 1964 G.I. Joes, I think. I have a number of G.I. Joes from the original 1964 release. But I do potentially have some soldiers, toy soldiers, which my dad's got a huge collection, massive collection of toy soldiers. And I have acquired some of the items that he doesn't really want, and I think potentially I've got some soldiers that date back to the 50s. So, Brian Dillingham, one of my favourite toys was the G.I. Joe tactical battle platform. It was perfect for all the water operations. Yeah, I never had it as a kid. My cousin Shane did, and I always wanted that toy. When I was a kid growing up in England, my cousin Shane, he was a number of years younger than me, but we were often into the same thing. And because we played together a lot, you know, when the family would get together on weekends, my family were conscious of not getting us all the same toys. So I'm pretty sure I had Castle Grayskull and he had Snake Mountain, and he didn't have Castle Grayskull, vice versa. So because he had the tactical battle platform, I got the Cobra Hydrofoil. But I have since acquired the tactical battle platform, and I have not reacquired the Cobra Hydrofoil as yet. King Eric the Greatest of all. Have you changed your name from King Eric the Great the First? Has the killer whale been shown already? No, because I don't have a killer whale in my collection. I don't know if you can hear Gracie's banging around upstairs. I got the battle platform in '87. I think that was a hell of a lot of stickers to put on, yeah. Tony, do you know anyone who owned the USS Flag when you were growing up? Not in the UK. I don't think the USS Flag was sold in the UK. I do remember seeing the flag in a shop window in the UK when I was young, when I was about 10. But I just think they acquired that to set up like a store display with it. As far as I'm aware, the flag was not sold in the UK. George Aitken's got a couple of killer whales, but they are damaged. Yeah, it's a very fragile toy. Certainly, all the fan and the fans at the back and the vanes, and yeah, there's a lot of easily broken parts on that. Oh, I've got to drink this coffee. It's getting cold. Well, it's still okay now, but if I leave it much longer, it's going to get too cold. Yeah, Martin. It possibly was a competition for the flag in the UK. Brian Dillingham, I swapped out one of the gun emplacements with a G.I. Joe flat cannon, fit on the platform perfectly. Oh, cool. Michael Schaefer's here. Good to see you, Michael Schaefer. Yes, that's right. King Eric Toy Polloi is currently fixing a killer whale. I don't know if he's completely finished it yet. I know he has dropped a couple of videos. I haven't checked them out as yet. I will probably certainly be checking them out if I ever acquire a killer whale and it needs some repair. So, and Brian's saying he's finished it. Yeah, I thought he had. Has he finished his Palatoy Death Star restoration as well? I'm gonna have to. I have to go and check out Toy Polloi after this stream and see where he's up to. Brian saying, so the last restoration video for the killer whale dropped yesterday. That's cool. Chris is saying, yeah, get a Cobra Moray Hydrofoil. Yeah, I had that toy when I was a kid. Great toy. Really, really cool toy. Chris Miwa, how you doing? Good to see you here. We're getting through most of the toys, but there is something else I want to bring out and show you guys. This looks really odd, but I'm going to have the Kraken sit next to an Action Force guy there. Let's get him out of the way. Oh. Once again, it's going to be a big clean-up session from this live stream, as they always are. Let's get the diver out of the way. And the Action Man Seawolf. This is a very cool toy. I never had this when I was a child. I believe this was originally a Hasbro design for G.I. Joe and something that was just recoloured for the Action Man line. I should really do a restoration on this. The canopy could be cleaned up. Periscope goes up. I don't know how you... I don't know if you can lock that in place somehow. It doesn't seem to want to lock in place, this one, but... so you can fit a frogman in there, and this actually got a unique face mask. It looks a little bit different. It goes over the mouth as well with a long hose, so when he's in there he's got his oxygen mask on. So you can fit an Action Man figure inside here. I never had this when I was a kid, so I'm not 100% sure actually how these features work. You can see this weighted piece at the bottom that moves up and down, and somewhere this hose plugs in I think into the top here. This hose plugs in, and the reason I know that this is a Hasbro design product, can you see on there, that's actually got the Adventure Team logo on there. It was copied from them. So I think if you submerge this in water and then you pump this, it maybe went up and down in the water or something. I'm potentially going to have to go and use a friend's swimming pool and get an underwater camera and actually get this working. But you can tell this one has definitely been in water because the stickers on both sides here are quite badly water damaged and stuff. The rudders at the back turn. You've got a claw at the front and a camera. I think this is complete, I'm pretty sure. I've got the box for it, but it's too far away, I can't go and get it. Venkman, yes, that is impressive. Scuba Pete, one day I must have one. Yeah. definitely pick yourself up an Adventure Team one. It's a different colour. I think they came in like a creamy white colour in the Adventure Team. But exactly the same toy. That explains all the holes, yes. Yeah, and that's obviously why Action Man's got to wear a mask in there to get his oxygen, because this fills with water, which is, why it's got all these veins in it. It's a brilliantly engineered toy. If it does work, I'd be very keen to actually get this into a swimming pool. I'll have to wait for the weather to heat up a little bit, but I'll get this into a swimming pool one day and get it underwater with an underwater camera and film it. William the movie fan. Hey Tony, do you know anything about the battery-powered 12-inch Frogman from the late 70s? He would actually swim? No, I'm not sure what toy you're talking about. Resolute123. On Patreon, you explained no plans were made for the Red Shadow's water forces. Was the decision not to create enemy assets also influenced by Palatoy license of Cobra water forces? No. Bob did have an idea. What it pretty much came down to was they had a limited budget for tooling. So when they proposed new toys like the Robo Skull, that would take up a lot of the tooling budget, and the Sea Lion and the Triad Fighter, and they just ran out of money. You know, they did one unique vehicle for each team. Except for the Z-Force, but the Z-Force, it was so easy to bring G.I. Joe products and just recolor them in that green and black camo pattern. So they were making new toys for Space Force, the enemy team, the Q-Force. Did they do anything for the SAS? Anything unique? I don't think so. No, that was all copied stuff as well. But yeah, after the Triad Fighter, the Robo Skull, and then the Sea Lion, they just ran out of tooling funds. That's all it was. But I did mention to the Patreon the other day that Bob did have some idea of making an aquatic vehicle for the enemy team that was going to be based on a shark skull, where the Robo Skull was a human skull. So, oh yes, the Silent Attack was a Palatoy only. A Palatoy designed by the same designer, Brian Turner, who made the Sea Lion. He also made the Silent Attack canoe, the kayak. Not canoe, sorry, kayak. Tony, did you ever mix and match toys when growing up? For example, Ken of Star Wars and a Seawolf. I didn't mix scales, so Ken of Star Wars wouldn't go in the Seawolf. But certainly, my Palatoy X-Wing when I was a child and when I got into Action Force, I never had the... my mind's gone blank. I never had the Sky Striker, and I really wanted a Sky Striker. And my X-Wing made a very poor substitute. It was often piloted by Lady J. So yeah, I did mix and match stuff, but it tended to be in the same scale. I didn't like mixing scales. Soviet Idiot says, where's my my custom SAS Action Man kayak? Upstairs in the collection room. I didn't... This wasn't all aquatic stuff. This was scuba stuff, underwater stuff, not the boats up on the surface. But did Palatoy manufacture Action Man products in Great Britain at the time? Yes, they did. If you want to know, David, the full history about Action Man, I've got a 3-part documentary on the channel called The Story of Action Man. Check that out. Matt Ludi, in old comics, they advertised a mail-away Polaris submarine, and what kids would receive would be a cardboard box that you could sit in. Okay. Martin Fudder, Seawolf instructions. I've got the instructions as well in the box. I've just never taken the time to actually figure out how this works. Magnificent Kaboom says, Analog Toys does great work. Looking forward to live weapons demonstration of Johnny 7 one-man army. Thank you very much. I used to own a box Johnny 7 one-man army probably about 20 years ago. I picked up at a toy show. Wasn't cheap. It was such a cool toy. I don't know what happened to it. I would have traded it back in those days. Back in those days, I was in my late teens, very early 20s. I didn't earn anywhere near as much money then. Not that I earn heaps of money now, but I was a lot more hard up then, so there was a lot of trading used to go on rather than purchasing of toys in those days. So, George Aitken, you've gained 400 more subscribers this week. Have I, George? Excuse me. George seems to keep track of my subscribers more than what I do. I have noticed the subscribers going up. I think a lot of that is from the G.I. Joe Retro Collection video and from the Repro Toy Debate video. Sometimes you drop a video and it gains you a lot of subscribers. Towards the end of last year, when I dropped the top 10 best playsets video, man, that launched the channel to great numbers. I think I was below 10,000 when that dropped, and then it took me a bit over 3 years to get to 9,000 subscribers, and now in the last 9 months we're now at 23,000 or something like that. I don't know, 23.4. There you go. Do I still have that restored Frogman with a replacement scuba suit you did a while ago? Yes, I do. It's upstairs in the collection room. So I didn't want to bring everything down. Matt Ludi, again, happy 4th birthday, Analog Toys. Yeah, let's... What a ride it's been, man. 4 years with this channel, and it's... I never set out when I started the channel to focus on kind of growth and things like that, but I never realised how kind of long of a slog it can be. You know, there are other channels that I see around that have only been up for a year and a half and they go over 100,000 subscribers, and then here we are working hard, really hard for 4 years. You know, and don't get me wrong, 23,000 subscribers I'm very grateful for, but they're very hard-earned subscribers. But I love doing what I'm doing. It's good. We've been pumping out the content just lately. We have, so the patrons have already seen this, but we've got another video that's going to drop about 12 hours after the live stream. I've done a review of the Empire Strikes Back retro collection figures from Hasbro that were donated in the last live stream from Gojatron. That video's in the can. It's on Patreon if you want to watch it. You've got to sign up to Patreon. But yeah, it'll be on YouTube in about 12 hours time. And I'm possibly going to do a video today about the new Target exclusive 6-inch Joes, the Cobra Island ones. I've got a few thoughts on that, and I might lay them out in a video. So, Boar Legion, thank you very much for the super chat. Love your channel, Tony. That Seawolf sub looks awesome. I have an Action Force Dragonfly I got in the UK back in 1987. Cheers. Man, the Dragonfly was one of those toys I really, really wanted in 87 and didn't get. I got all of the figures from 87 except for Storm Shadow. All of them. I actually got 2 Televipers. Like, why did I get 2 Televipers and not get Storm Shadow? But anyway, because he was hard to find back then. Snake Eyes version 2 and Storm Shadow in 87 in the UK were both hard to get. Managed to get Snake Eyes, but not Storm Shadow. But vehicle-wise, I got the Cobra Stinger, the Ore Striker, the Hydrofoil, you know, Checkpoint Alpha. That may have been the following year. But the Dragonfly was the toy that I really wanted and never got. So, yeah, George, I like the Cobra Trooper figure as well. I love the Cobra. I would have actually preferred 2 of those as opposed to 2 Televipers. I mean, take both Televipers and give me 3 Cobra Troopers. That would have been awesome. King Eric, the greatest of all, when are you reviewing the Bespin Bridge thing? Never. I've mentioned it, I think, in a couple of videos. I'm not getting it. I'm not reviewing it. Hasbro sucks, man, at the moment. Clay3613, do you plan on getting any of the G.I. Joe classified? I have asked a friend of mine in the States to order me the deluxe exclusive version of Snake Eyes. It's the only one I'm really interested in. I don't plan on getting any of the others. I've been very disappointed with some of them. Some of them have been pretty cool. I'm getting frustrated that we're only, I don't know, what are there? There've been about 8 or 10 unique figures, and yet we've got 2 versions of Snake Eyes, 2 versions of Destro, 3 versions of Cobra Commander. It's like, man, stop giving us all these different versions and different exclusives and Target exclusive and Walmart exclusive, and just mass produce them and put them in toy shops. People will buy them. It's funny, you know, the anti-repro toy crowd gets so pissed off with companies like the Fans Strike Back and Stand Solo making money off Hasbro's IP, and yet Hasbro's distribution strategy allows scalpers to make tons of money. They're not complaining about those guys. At least Stand Solo and the Fans Strike Back, you know, they work hard to create these customs. They put effort into them. They make quality products. They make something I wish I had mentioned actually in the retro Star Wars collection video that's going to drop later. I didn't mention, but I should have. We all know that the quality of the card backs on those figures are not great. Stand Solo and the Fans Strike Back make top quality card backs and bubbles for the figures, and this new stuff that Hasbro's doing is just garbage. But yeah, their distribution policy enables just these greedy scalpers to gobble up all of the Boba Fett's and, you know, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Snake Eyes, and then just turn around 2 weeks later, throw them on eBay for double, triple the price. The anti-repo guys don't seem to care about that. And those guys are just... I'm not a fan of scalpers. I'm not a fan of scalpers. Anyway. Clay 3613, scalpers have prevented me from getting the real Ghostbusters. My vintage figures are very warm. Yeah, it happened with that's a set of toys that I'm considering getting, but even here in Australia, the scalpers, they just want to, you know, they're just buying something from Hasbro and then trying to peddle it onto you and pocketing an extra $100 or whatever it is for the set. It's disgusting. Punisher XS, that's very true. The fans do the best work. Timothy Ward, the anti-repro kingpins are probably the scalpers themselves. I reckon you're onto something there, Tim. I reckon you're onto something, my man. Very, very true. Brick Mantooth did a good video on the Mego Star Trek. Yeah, he did. Bradshaw's Studio, thank you very much for the super chat. No question, but much appreciated. Okay. Sorry, I think Gracie just flushed the toilet, if you can hear that. The toilet's right outside the studio. The second wave of G.I. Joe classified figures have already sold out. Yeah, of course they have. As has the new Millennium Falcon, yeah. Yeah, you heard it. Yeah. Sorry, guys. That's really thrown me off there. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know what it is with Hasbro. They need a lesson in balancing capacity and demand. What they're doing is underproducing to ensure that every product they make sells, but it is disappointing their customer base. It's frustrating their customer base. It's allowing third parties to profit off what they're doing as well by all this scalping. And I'm telling you what, the scalpers are making a lot more money than any of these people who are producing reproduction stuff. It's a flawed marketing strategy. It really is. So, you idiot, what's the next toy line history video we can expect? You won't get a full... the answer to that is going to be Fisher-Price Adventure People, but I don't have a massive collection. I don't intend on collecting much more. I've just acquired a couple of toys that I had when I was a kid. But when I review those toys and make that video, I will be covering the history of Fisher-Price Adventure People. So that, I suppose, will be the next one. Matt Ludi, your subscribers are hard-earned and that is the way to do it. You've created a great friendly community channel. You should feel very proud. I am extremely proud of Analog Toys. And I love this community. You guys are fantastic. The Patreon's extra special, but you know, the followers that we have on here, the guys, certainly you, the real hardcore supporters of this channel, the ones who always jump on the live stream and make all the comments. Morning, Mr. Lurch. Good morning. Fellow Australian there, Mr. Lurch. Yeah, I love this community. I really like what Analog Toys stands for. I'm very proud that we have maintained our authenticity and credibility, and that's something that will always remain. Venkman, thank you very much for the super chat. I said this earlier, but the anti-repro crowd have made me completely rethink how I look at repros. I'm now far more accepting of well-made repros. Yeah, and unfortunately, the way they have carried on, the anti-repro crowd, they've created a community that people don't want to be a part of, a toxic community that's just not fun to be around. So now you can hear Gracie sneezing out there as well. Well, I think you can. I can hear her. John Baldry, we love you, Tony. And I love you guys too. Vincent Dawson, my Evil Knievel video is great. Thank you, man. I'm very, very proud of that video. I really enjoyed making that one. Just getting to actually play with the toys and the Energizer and all that. That was a really, really fun video to make. And I'm very proud of that video. Yes, George, Kraken Creations, also who goes on Instagram by the name The Kraken Wakes, is the #1 guy out there for Action Force repro stuff. MST3K, is that Mystery Science Theatre 3000? Thank you very much for the super chat. I grew up with G.I. Joe, but it's all gone now. I should never have fooled myself that I had to outgrow toys. No, I lost a lot of my childhood toys when we moved from England to Australia when I was 11. I kept my Action Man stuff and a bit of Action Force, but I lost all my Star Wars. I did say I lost it. My removal costs to another country are expensive, so my family forced me to sell a lot of stuff at a garage sale. But here I am, passionately reacquiring it all, and I love it. I will never stop. Michael Johnson says, Tony, I just watched your Britain's video, brought back a lot of memories. That's cool, man. Thanks, Michael, for saying that. Yeah, Britain's toy soldiers have a very, very special place in my heart because my dad collects them, and you know, with my dad being a collector is kind of what inspired me to become a collector at a very early age. I think I've always at my core, I've always been a collector. So, Brian Dillingham, toys are a testament to imagination and creativity. They should be cherished. Yes, they should. They are modern pop art, and the people who created them, like Bob Breakin and Brian Turner and Greg Hughes, they are true artists. True artists. I know I only rattled off 3 Palatoy names there. It's because those guys I actually communicate with and I'm familiar. That is not a slight at any of the Kenner designers, like, is it Jim Swearigan? I can't pronounce his name. Any of those guys, they're all artists. Mr. Lurch's Thing says, take the Transformers community. The third-party market is massive. You have the hardcore G1ers, but only a small handful will tear you down. Most are at the very least tolerant. Yeah, and they really need to be with Transformers because the rubber tyres dry rot and perish. once they're gone, what do you do? Like you've got to buy replacement rubber. It's just like having a classic car, right? You have a classic car and the tires dry rot. Is there anything wrong with replacing the tires on a classic car? You know, you want to be able to drive a classic car and enjoy it, not just have it, you know, sit in your garage all the way down on the hubcaps because the tires have destroyed themselves. So, well, not destroyed themselves, have rotted away. M Price says, "Love your channel. Looking forward to the Fisher Price video." Yeah, that's not sure when that's going to come. I'm going to start working on it next week, but I'm going away next weekend for a 3-day weekend. We're going up to Broome for a bit of a very brief family vacation. We just need to take a little bit of a break, which is why I've been trying to pump out a lot of extra content this week to keep you guys. So there won't be a live stream next weekend because I will not be in town. Venkman, in a lot of ways, the anti-repro crowd have inadvertently created the repro maker movement by making the vintage originals too crazy, stupid, expensive for people to buy. And that's 100% correct. BD says, do you like Aliens toys? Which ones? Are you talking about the ones from the early 90s? No, I wasn't too keen on those. If you're talking about the 70s, they only made the one big alien figure and that was it. But I would like to acquire that. It's a cool toy. Desert Lion, I think you get to a certain age and look back at what made you happy when you were young. That's what got me back into collecting. Luckily, I still have most of my toys from when I was a kid. I think that's what happens with a lot of collectors, but I was born to be a collector, so I didn't get to this sort of stage later in my adult life where I wanted to start reminiscing. I literally stopped playing with toys around 12 years of age. And then at 15, I was back in toy shops. I was buying the G.I. Joe Hall of Fame 12-inch figures. And by 16, I was going to toy shows and reacquiring stuff. So there's only like a 2-year gap there where I wasn't buying toys. We've been going for... Wow, I've lost track of time. We've been going for 1 hour and 12 minutes and we haven't even got to the boxes yet. So we need to get this stuff out of the way. Mr. Lurch's Things. So, have I ordered any more Black Series? No, I haven't ordered any more Black Series. My Black Series are up on the shelf there behind the camera. I've got the Dagobah R2-D2, Bespin Luke, Yoda, Bespin Han Solo, Bespin Escape Leia. The Hoth Leia that I got, I've packed that away. I don't need that now. I don't know what I'm going to do with that figure. I might donate it to someone else. And I've got Lando. I am potentially going to get a few more things, but I haven't ordered anything as yet. So, yes, the box. We're going to leave Scuba box for last, drum up the anticipation. And we're going to open this one from Antonio, I think it is. Let's see what Antonio has sent us. I hope there's a letter in here so I can actually clarify the name. Oh, wow. Ha! What a coincidence. Mr. Lurch was just asking me about Black Series. Awesome. Thank you, Antonio. I'm going to send you a private message after this stream. This is let me have a look at this. This is the Amazon exclusive Chewbacca and C-3PO 2-pack Shakur, whatever. This has got some weight to it, man. This is very, very nice. There's more in here. What's this? What the? Oh! No way! The Imperial Probe Droid! I didn't even know they'd made this. How does this go? Not sure which way around this goes. That is... Ooh. That is cool. I didn't even know that they had made this. And look, he sent me the box for it as well. Damn. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble now with my collecting. Because now that I have the probe droid, now I'm going to need to get... have they done a Chewbacca from Hoth, you know, with a bit of snow on him? I need to get Hoth Han Solo now to go with the... Oh, God. Maybe a Tauntaun. Damn. This, I'm really impressed with these. So let's catch up with some comments. Keith Holmesley got the Imperial droid. He got the Imperial droid a few weeks ago. MST 3000. I like that droid, but it's pricey. Is it pricey? Is it what? Was it pricey when it came out? I don't know. Has this been out for a while? King Eric the Greatest of all. Tony, can you make the Imperial droid noises? No, I don't think I can. Imperial droid versus... Oh, the chat's skipping past. I'm missing things here. The Empire Strikes Back Star Wars Black Series, great. Unboxing, please. Yeah, I'm potentially going to do another video on the Black Series. Certainly now that I've got this, and this Chewbacca and C-3PO now completes the core group of heroes. The core group of 6-inch Black Series heroes that I wanted. So I've got Chewie and C-3PO here. I've got R2-D2, Luke, Yoda, Han, Leia, and Lando. It was supposed to stop there, and now this has thrown me off. Awesome. Okay. Thank you very much, Antonio. I'm sending you a private message after this because I don't know if you're in the chat, if you go by another name or whatever, but Kieran Ball, Tony's going to need another room for his collection. Yeah, I already need another room for my collection. I'm starting to display stuff in here, and it's a shame that I've got so many toys now packed into storage because I don't have room for them. Nah, Gracie's not going to kill me if the collection gets bigger. I think she's alright with it. Tim Hades needs a 3 3/4 inch C-3PO with a backpack for his limbs. Yeah, I need the... well, what I need is a second Chewbacca so I can... I've got plenty of the stand solo droids that I can take apart and display, and I've got the backpack. But I've only got one vintage Chewbacca in my collection, and I like to display the figures as they came off the card backs. Like I'll talk about in this Empire Strikes Back Retro Collection video, one of the things I liked about having the Bespin Luke and the Yoda, and having those vintage figures already, and then having the Retro Collection ones, means that I can display the figures as they came off the cards, but then also display them with the training backpack. Vintage Toy Rush says there should be a sign in my house that says turn left for vintage, turn right for modern. That might happen. That might happen. Okay. Now I'm gonna... I don't know how I'm gonna do this, guys, because this box is so damn big. And I'm potentially gonna... I don't even know which end to open. We'll start up here. So this is a mystery box from Scuba Pete that's taken forever and a day to get here due to the worldwide pandemic. This has been here since Monday, guys. I've been dying to get this open. Okay. What? No way. Whoa. I'm running out of room. We have a letter. Hey Tony, I hope this note finds you, Gracie, your son and the cats well. I found this Lone Ranger Carson City playset down in Kentucky and immediately thought of you. I hope you enjoy it and can display it with some of your figures. Also okay, I'm not going to read the rest because there's some stuff inside. Oh, thank you for all the great content and your friendship. From Paul, Leslie, Haley, Crush and Pie. Thank you, Pete, man. Thank you very much. What in the... I've never even seen one of these in the flesh before. Pete knows I love me some Lone Ranger. I'm gonna... This is awkward. I don't have the room here. For those on the Patreon, I did a bit of a behind-the-scenes tour of the studio the other day, and you'll see how much of a small space that I've actually got here to work in. So this is the Lone Ranger Carson City playset. Holy cow! It's very well packed. Sorry guys, this is taking me a while here. Oh, damn. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's like past the parcel. Almost there. That was a bit of a workout. Let's have a look at this. So which way up does it go? Dude, this is nice. This is really nice. Look at that artwork. Yeah, this is amazing. Sorry, Antonio, but these guys are going to have to move out of the way. I think Scuba Pete's going to have to take a vacation or two. Get out of here. My coffee out of the way. Damn. Pete, This is incredible. I'm blown away. The Gabriel Lone Ranger rides again in Carson City. Return to those thrilling days of yesteryear with this authentic Western town for Lone Ranger action figures. There is a video. There's going to be a video about this. How in the hell does it open? Ah. This is... Oh, they're press studs. I'm scared. I don't want to damage this. Okay. They are not press studs. Ah, there we go. Got it. Don't want to damage this. That's right, Gojatron. They don't make play sets like this anymore. Holy crap! I don't know how well you got. Look at this. This is amazing. Dude, Pete. Whoa, what? I'm scared. Okay, what? So we've got a G.I. Joe figure here. Now, what did Pete say in the letter? I think, yes, Mr. Lurch, I might need a moment off camera, but also inside is a Black Major custom figure, a Red Shadows Night Viper. Ah, Red Shadows. Yes, it's got the logo and everything. Guys, look at that. You can't really see that in the bag, can you? Let's get him out. Pete, I love this. This is going in the display with my Red Shadows. So he's got... This is nicely made. He's got a rifle that looks as though it straps to his leg. Very cool. Look at that guy. King Eric the Great III. Yeah, I still have to go on holiday, otherwise the wife will get upset. Yeah, Pete has made me speechless. Dude, Pete. We got Red Shadows, we got Lone Ranger, now we've got Rambo. Whoa, this is a mint sealed 81mm mortar thunder tube from the Coleco Rambo line. Pete, that's awesome. That's going to go in my display next to my sealed Savage Strike Cycle. Thank you, man. Yeah, Pete has achieved the impossible, a speechless Tony. And what's this? T-shirt? Pete. Pete, look at that. An SAS T-shirt. Dude. If you ever come to Australia, Pete, you're coming to my house for beers and some Thai food. And We're going to talk toys, man. This is overwhelmingly generous. I'm amazed. And I've got to show you guys, look, there's all these additional little cardboard parts for the playset. We have a roof section there. We have a lamppost thing. And an advert for the 3 3/4 inch cardboard town as well. This is incredible. So, I've got to make a video about this playset. Now that I have this in hand, pull out side flaps in direction of the arrows. Holy! This thing is incredible. Dude, how big is this? I think the only issue here is that to film this, to make a video about this, I need a bigger studio. Okay, I need to I don't know. Yes, Gaz, I'm in shock. Yeah, that's Scuba Pete. You can make a whole street. Yeah, that's what I'm. I've seen some really good quality images of this from a Gabriel catalogue from back in the day. But this is one of those toys that maybe it's the same with the flag. You know, I haven't seen a flag in person in a long time. But this is one of those toys where, you know, you kind of know that it's big and all that. But when you see it in hand, it is far more impressive than any photo that you've ever looked at on the internet. This has beautiful artwork on every single piece and panel and incredible, absolutely incredible. I don't know how I'm going to get out of here now to turn the stream off. To film this, you need to take it into the wild outback. I may even do that, you know. I may even take this out bush, as we say here, and film this in the wild. I think that would be awesome. Yes, Netta's network, I'm completely gobsmacked. Damn. I wonder if... because I don't know how I'm even going to get out of here now. I'm just wondering... No, I have to turn it. I was seeing if I can turn the stream off from my laptop. I have to do it from the phone. Holy hell. Pete, you're an awesome dude. George, you're awesome. Antonio, you're awesome. The generosity in this community just blows my mind. Good night, Martin. All right, I'm just gonna have to do this. I don't really want to say goodbye to you guys, but we've been going for an hour and 35 minutes now. I'm gonna go and put my SAS t-shirt on, and I just need to take a moment to let my brain comprehend what's going on here right now. So somehow we're going to. There we go. There. Okay, cool. Retro blasting in the house. Yeah, that is unreal. I'm speechless. Scuba Pete sent me the Carson City playset from Gabriel. This thing is immense. And there's actually all these different ways you can set it up that you can see on the back there. Damn. Alright, I'm going to struggle to get out from behind here. Here we have our custom Red Shadows Night Viper, who's super cool. He needs a figure stand though. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. This has been epic. I really should have named this the Scuba Pete Show because that's what it's become. But also, yeah, thank you very much to Antonio for the Amazon 2-pack of Chewbacca and C-3PO. That's incredible. And, man, we got more videos to make than what I can keep up with in production. So, look at this. I'm just a tiny little head peering out behind this amazing toy. So, I need to go and study this toy and figure out how I'm going to make a video about it. Have a great weekend, everyone. Make sure you check out the Retro Blasting live stream on Saturday, because I think Tim Whitten's coming back on the show to talk James Bond with Michael, and I'm excited. When Tim came on the show before to talk about Star Trek, I thought he became the star of the show very quickly. So, all right, guys, have a fantastic weekend. I'm already having a fantastic weekend. It can't get much better than this. Appreciate everything, guys. Appreciate this community so much. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the Empire Strikes Back Retro Collection video that's going to drop in about 12 hours. So, all right. Bye, guys.